You alright lads, welcome to the Isocast. This is the first episode of this, big new project, cannot wait to start this. Today we're starting it off very well. We're starting it off with one of my favourite YouTubers, one of my favourite people in general. It's Mr. Owen Powell, everybody.
The smile you've just put on my face, I appreciate that.
Yeah, nice one man. How are you today?
Yeah man, I'm good. Yourself?
Good to hear. Yeah, I'm not too bad. How's self-isolation so far? That's probably the first question I should start with. Just like, what have you been up to in self-isolation?
Well, it is pretty much my daily life anyway. Because I've been doing YouTube full time for 4 or 5 months. I mean, like most YouTubers were joking when it started, like, oh yeah, this is just normal. But like for me, it genuinely just is. Like I've pretty much been at home. Like, the only difference is, like, if anything, I'm talking to my friends more because, like, no one's at school or at college or anything, so they just have more time to talk to me on Discord and stuff. But my general life was only really leaving the house to go to the shops or see my friends, and the only thing that's changed is I'm not going out to see my friends, so...
I 100% get that, because I mean with you it's even more so because you do YouTube full time, which is something that I'm going to get onto in this podcast because I wanted to ask you all about that. But, like... I feel like for people who go to school, there's a bigger difference because I was used to just like leaving the house 5 days a week, go to school, spending a lot of time there, obviously.
Yeah.
I feel like now that people aren't at school, the social life's actually like stronger from home because everyone's just online all the time.
It has to be. It has to be because there's no other way of seeing them. Like when I was in school, anytime I'd message my friends, it would be messaged in order to arrange to meet up. But now you're messaging for the sake of holding a conversation. So like, there's way more of that.
I feel like in terms of my internet friends, it's absolutely sick. It's like we're thriving now because we're just always online.
Fully. The amount of Jackbox we played, it's like stupid.
I was gonna say, like, we've spent a hell of a lot of time just playing like games on Discord and stuff, and it's sick because, well, if people want to dip, they don't really have an excuse anymore because like everyone's just at home. Like,
so you're on a FaceTime? No, sorry, I'm out. Oh fuck, wrong excuse. Like.
Yeah. But I mean, the thing for me is like on the flip side, like obviously with internet friends it's sick, but I feel like in terms of real life mates, I don't really see them as much because beforehand I always just saw them every day at school, so there wasn't really as much need to keep in touch with them out of school. Whereas now, I guess it's different. Like, how is it for you? Do you say the same? Or?
So, well, I mean, no, it's pretty much the same. Like, I've messaged my real life friends more. To be honest, Tom, I don't have that many friends.
You've got me. I'm always here for you.
No, I've got my friends, but we never really went out that much, especially like recently before this quarantine, because like A-levels and shit, everyone was preparing for that, so I wasn't going out that much anyway. Yeah. For you now, is it not just like an extended or just like an early summer holiday? Like, we've not been in quarantine for that long. Like, it should just. I don't know how you normally spent your summer holidays from like year 11, year 10, whatever. But
it kind of feels like that. I get what you mean, but at the same time, it's like we can't go outside, so it almost just feels like every day. You know what it's like when it's like a sick day from school? Sick day
at school, yeah.
Every day feels like a sick day from school.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. For me right now, I feel normal. I don't feel too different.
I can imagine, yeah. But next question, I guess that's very interesting. I wanted to talk to you about like how you started YouTube. Like, what was it that inspired you? When did you start? So that was quite a lot of questions at the same time.
No, I get it. I can go on a tangent if you want. Like,
when did you start YouTube?
2011.
Just like 2011. Wait, so how old were you then? Like 9?
Yeah, I would have been 9 or 10. Mate, I was that weird kid like in year 4 or 5 going around shouting "rape pesky beast." It's so cliche, but it just was KSI. Like I found like his Road to Division 1. I tell you what, no, the first series I watched from KSI was You Pick I Play or Top 5 Goals of the Week, and basically he had like a video where he beat Barcelona with Shamrock Rovers, and it was like the whole sweaty goals shit. He'd score a sweaty goal and scream "Get your tits out," and I was like literally year 4 or 5 in the school playground scoring a goal, screaming "Sweaty goals, get your tits out." I'm like, looking back on that, if that was my kid now, I would not be fond of that. But yeah, that's just how it started.
That's the thing I've always found really weird about KSI, the fact that, like, especially to begin with, like, obviously his audience is a little bit older now, but, like, to begin with, back in the day, like, back Q&A Sunday, top 5 goals of the week, all of that, his audience was really young, like, primary school kids.
Yeah, so young, and it was literally, his channel was literally, I mean, I don't know how monetizable this is, we should have discussed this before, but literally, his channel was started, like, on rape. Not exclusively. He wasn't like, "Hey guys, welcome back to another rape video," but like most of his jokes were like that. Like if you watch his old Q&As where it's like, "What would you do if you were invisible?" and he does a skit of him raping a girl.
Mate, I saw that on Twitter the other day, and that wouldn't run nowadays in
No,
2020.
not at all. But I watched
No.
that as a kid. Was like, ha, yeah, go on, KSI, do that. Like,
And I think the weird thing about it is the fact that like he didn't even end up being that bad of an influence from what it seems like. I feel like most people who watched him back in the day have grown up to just be like normal people and still know that
100%.
stuff's wrong.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of just. I mean, it's a controversial take. I feel like most people have it anyway. I just feel like that people were less soft back then, and people could understand that it was a joke. Like, people know the difference between KSI making a funny sex joke and actually going, "Oh, it's okay to rape someone." Like,
I think so, yeah, but I think it was just also there were like much less rules on the internet back then. Like
100%.
now, if anyone did that, like the YouTuber themselves, even if they weren't really bothered about being like a good role model, they'd probably be like, "Oh my god, like we're not going to get ads, we're not going to be monetized, all of that." Like back then,
Everything
it wasn't
was
even
monetized.
a threat. Everything was monetized, and
I just remember, the thing is, it's to a mix of monetization and just what you could get away with. Like, Ray William Johnson used to say the N-word all the time. Like,
mate, it's mental, and I feel like that's actually only very recently that things like that have really clamped down on YouTube. Like iDubbbz, when was it that he said the N-word?
Oh,
like
yeah, that was
2016, 2017?
Around that, yeah, it was definitely in one of them 3 years.
Around that time. In my head, that wasn't long ago at all. Like, I look back to 2017, and it doesn't seem like very long ago, but to think about the stuff people could get away with. And the other thing, do you remember when Joe Weller did blackface in 2014?
Yes, and that's how I found Joe Weller. I found all these like YouTubers like KSI Joe Weller really small. But I genuinely found KSI before he had 10k subs. Like,
that is mental.
Yeah. So like I was on it from like early because I just used to love FIFA in it. So that's like going back to how I started my channel. I'd literally just watch KSI. The videos I started with were never good, right? It was literally like no one's videos that you start with are good, but it was literally me filming my TV on my phone because I scored a good goal on FIFA and I just posted saying epic long shot or something, you know what I mean? Like, it was never taken seriously until around 2014-15 when I was like, you know what, I want to do this as a job.
You see, most of the time I prefer that when a YouTuber starts like that because the growth is so organic in the way that they don't make their first video being like, guys, I'm going to be PewDiePie when I'm older.
I don't like that,
I don't like it either, although I sort of started like that. Like, if being completely honest, I sort of started like that, but I wish I didn't. I wish I started in a more like genuine way because I love it when people can sort of be like, it all started because I got a care package on Call of Duty, like KSI, and then it's like, do you get what I mean?
That. Yeah, it's but like I said in a video that I made, my end of year video 2019, I've said that like YouTube is 100% my passion and like it's my dream 100%, and I do it because I enjoy it, but I'm also well aware that there's a potential career in it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing it for the money per se. But I'm doing it with the dream of getting a career out of it.
I mean, you've got enough after that live stream last night. Bloody hell.
Shout out Monty, like.
Shout out Monty, what a guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I was gonna say the next question was there one single person that inspired you? But I guess you sort of answered that. Would you say it's KSI?
So not really. In the weirdest way, like, he was the first YouTuber that I became a proper fanboy of and like knew properly. But then it was Joe Weller, like. I even found Chris MD in like FIFA 13, 14.
I was going to say this, right? I was watching your videos the other day, and there was like a moment when you said like a sentence. I can't even remember what it was. It wasn't like something really meaningful, but I literally just saw the most like Joe Weller-esque voice and movement in it, and I was like, I can tell that you're inspired by Joe Weller in like a big way.
100%, mate. I was such a fanboy of Joe Weller.
I loved him as well. I think he's one of the people that stayed the most grounded, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a top geezer. Like, he really is. He's a great guy.
He's a legend.
He doesn't deserve the people that rip into him for the KSI boxing match at all.
No. But, I mean, like, it's funny. Like, I understand why people do it, but I feel like...
But you replied with, like, a fucking...
in our first tier list video, that was around the time that happened, wasn't it? Like, when I ripped into Joe Weller for no reason. But, like, you see, the problem with the internet, right? You can have people who genuinely really respect you as a person, but just want to take the piss and have a laugh. And then you've got the people that actually don't like you and get kicks out of trying to tear someone down.
I don't get that in the slightest. Literally, posted a couple of selfies yesterday. I got a reply saying cringe and another one saying like get a life or some shit. And I'm just like, I'm just posted a couple of pictures. No,
the internet can be brutal. But what I'm trying to say is like, a lot of the time you can't really tell the difference because all it is writing on a screen. So like there's no like sarcasm font online, is there? There's no way of like distinguishing when you're just having a laugh and you mean it in a good way, or when you genuinely like actually don't like someone.
It is true. I feel like there is a way that you can kind of read tone of voice. I don't know. There's a difference between going. Haha lol, this is so funny when you're like sarcastically someone's done something not funny, or actually going, you're a cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there definitely is a difference. Yeah, no, there definitely is a difference, but sometimes it can be hard to tell.
100%.
Because when that Joe Weller thing happened, I felt so bad because I know that like he obviously like he never name dropped me. I'm not nowhere near like the level where he'd want to like actually mention me. But it's like the thing that I replied to him with, the video about salt or whatever, like that was the most liked tweet on the thread by a mile, and then a couple days later he made a video being like, I can't say anything on the internet without people saying that I'm salty, and I was like, he definitely saw mine and actually took it badly. Like,
yeah, that's the thing is though. That's fully not even you just being like, oh yeah, he's definitely talking about me. Because when he said it, I thought of your tweet as well. So like, it 100% probably was about you. Like, yeah.
I'm never the type of person to want to straight away jump to conclusions and say that things are about me. Like, for example, when the Ryan Franklin beef happened, for example, like me and him went back and forth on Twitter loads, and I made like 4 videos about him. But I knew for a fact that every time he made a video about like the haters or whatever, he was 100% talking about like Cam Kirkham and Callum Markey and them, and not me. Like, because they're like a level above me on YouTube. Like, there's levels to this thing. Like, yeah, I guess so. Anyway, next question, I guess. I wanted to ask you. So obviously, you don't go to school anymore. I don't know how many people who watch your videos know that. I guess you've dropped it into a couple of videos.
I dropped it. Yeah, it's public knowledge. It's out there.
So you don't go to school anymore. But like, when you were at school, like, how did you get on? Were you like the sort of popular kid? Were you not? Like, how was school for you?
So school for me, if we're talking about the actual lessons. Sorry, was someone shouting? Oh, I don't know. Anyway.
Was that yours?
Yeah, I feel like
I was going to say, I think that was yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so when I was at school, in terms of the lessons, I'll go from my personal experience at school. I was not disliked.
Right.
I wasn't the most popular kid. But I was the class clown. Like, prom awards. Did you have prom awards at your prom?
No, we did. My secondary school didn't actually have a prom. It was really weird. It just sort of never happened. Like,
okay, so we had a year 11 prom, and they had like awards. I won 2. There was like 8 up for grabs. I won most likely to appear on TV, and I won best comedian. So.
I can get behind both of them, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself that funny. I just, like, what I do is, like, if I'm talking to anyone from my old school and they try and tell me I'm not funny, I'm like, well, actually, I've got this trophy. That's my favourite joke to play. But anyway, I was liked. I was definitely liked. I just hated school. And I was my end of year video was actually gonna be a lot more deep than it ended up being. I was gonna talk about my full school experience, but it's like something that I'm not exactly 100% ready to come on to say publicly yet. I definitely plan to in the future, but lessons and the school system is like something I have a big agenda against. I think is very flawed, and I have a lot that I could say about it. School as a general, even when I was in year 5, year 6, I said when I get out of year, as soon as it's legal for me to leave school, I'm gone. I'm not staying. So the plan to me, even if you so what it was is, even like year 6 or 7, my mum would be like, oh, what are you going to do with your life? You said you're not going to go to college, you're not going to do this, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber, mum, watch me. And that wasn't cocky, it was just like, that's just, more of like, I'm going to keep doing it until it doesn't fail. And that's kind of how it was.
That's mad. I mean, like, I feel like there's so much more that people could learn in schools, because at the moment school is very much still geared towards like, you get GCSEs,
Robots.
You get A-levels, you leave, you go to uni, you get a good job, all of this. It's like, I feel like the school system ignores a lot of things that are on the rise, such as YouTube and online entertainment,
100%.
because it's like, school's not really geared towards it because it's run by a bunch of boomers. And
I know a lot of dumb people. like just genuinely dim people, like just not smart people that got good grades. And I know a lot of extremely intelligent people who got bad grades. Like it's not the whole point of school is apparently the test are like a measurement of how smart you are, but it's not. It's a test of memory and how well you revise these certain topics that they're going to quiz you on.
Literally exactly that. Yeah.
It's like so. I had something, and my mics just fell over, so that's class.
Heard that. Yeah, have you seen that video? It's from like 2015. It's a sort of like, you know, Boy in a Band. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I do know Boy in a Band. Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about the Prince EA video.
No. Well, I mean, the Prince EA video is a good one as well. But Boy in a Band. Have you seen his song about don't stay in school?
No.
Oh, it is a bang. Like everything that you just said about school, it's a sick song that pretty much covers everything like that. About how like school's like one outlet, yeah, and the way that like school's like sort of one outlet of education, how they teach you like science and maths and all of the basic shit. I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of things like, what about mortgage? What about like how to run a family? What about, why do they give us so much advice about using a condom and not having a kid, but literally no advice for the point where you actually might want a kid?
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, like, it doesn't just stop at some people aren't cut out for the system, because some people are not cut out to go to school every day and learn these subjects, but it doesn't stop there. Like when I worked at WH Smith, because I did for a bit, the assistant manager has a uni degree in like some form of engineering that he doesn't use, and he earns £7 an hour working at WH Smith.
Exactly.
And it's like, why have you gone through all of school, all of college, and 5 years at uni to work at WH Smith at a job that you don't need your degree for? Like, it's the whole system is so flawed because there's so many people with uni degrees that literally just do not use them, and it's like,
I think I understand how that isn't really necessarily as a fault of the education system, because you can go all the way through the education system, then it's up to you what you do with yourself at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I think it doesn't necessarily work out for everyone in the way that you leave uni and then you get a sick job and then that's just it and then you're fine.
Yeah, but that's what they make. That's how they make it out. Like when you're in school, they're like, oh, if you don't pass your exams, you're not going to get to uni. If you don't get to uni, you're not going to get a good job. And it's like, well, people do all of that because they're pressured into it and then can't find a job afterwards.
I think the world is so, like, this sounds like it's such a deep thing to say, talking about the world as a whole, but like the world is so much more like the world's so much more individual than what school makes out. School just groups over people, shoves 30 people in a room, teaches them it all. You have to raise your hand if you want to speak. They give you a short amount of time to eat. You get told what. I'm literally repeating that fucking Prince EA video at this point. But like,
it's so true.
It is. It's like that. It's like robots. I genuinely do not think that any of my teachers care one bit about me outside of that classroom, which is fine. I understand it. I wouldn't care about me if I was the teacher as well.
My teachers, from like year 7, I was like, they just knew that I had this mad resentment for the school system. So like, I did have teachers that would care about me after. One thing that's not public knowledge on YouTube that I'll spill for the podcast is after I left year 11, I basically went through like a 5-month period where I literally was doing nothing. So I wasn't working, wasn't in college, literally was doing nothing, just sitting at home every day. And
wait, was this while you were out of school, or?
No, so this was after I'd left year 11.
Oh, I thought you meant you just like weren't going in.
No. So my attendance in school was pretty bad anyway. It was like,
fair.
Especially in year 11, it was like 65, 70%. But yeah, so I went through this period of just like, because I was just like so lost, because I was in like a not the greatest state, so I wasn't really posting on YouTube. I didn't want to get a job, and I definitely didn't want to go to college. I tried going to college for 2 days and dropped out. Like,
fair.
But like, yeah, I felt I lost where the point was. The point started somewhere, and I just lost it. Started talking about
basically just talking about how shite school is in general.
Yeah.
I think my problem, right, is that I feel like right now. So obviously I'm still in school. I'm in sixth form right now. But like, talking about school in general is quite dodgy ground, especially, well, one, when you haven't left yet, but two, even when you've only left for a little bit, it's quite dodgy ground talking about it, because you're still obviously close with people that you went to school with.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. So the video that I made about why my school suspended me from my YouTube channel, that apparently all of the teachers at my old school apparently have seen it.
Yeah.
And apparently.
All the teachers in my school knew about my channel when I was in school, so.
Well, I mean, but that probably came down to other reasons, didn't it? Which, I mean, I am going to get onto.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Mahmood and all that.
No, that was after I left, but anyway, go on.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but I mean, well, they know about you now.
Yeah, but they did when I was there, but anyway, go on.
But yeah, like, I went to quite a small school. For year 7 to 11, I went to quite a small school, so everyone just sort of knew each other. Like, a lot of the people in the younger years knew about my YouTube. Oh shit, my camera's died. Okay, wait. We'll be back in a sec, guys. Alright, sorry about that. We're back, boys. Hopefully that won't happen again. So I was going to ask you, right, since you're not going to school, this was sort of where I was getting at with the whole school thing. Since you're not going to school, how much of a difference does it make doing YouTube not in school and just doing it full time than trying to fit it in around school?
Okay, so I didn't really give a shit in school about like what people in my school thought, right? I thought that until I left school. Like, now I really do not care how I come across online. Like, because I went through a period where I'd post something and I'd be like, oh, what if my old school friends see this? How are they going to react? Now I don't give a shit. Like, I will post absolutely. If anything, all it does, it just gives me more freedom to be weirder online. Because it's like, I don't know if you're talking. I can't hear you. You might.
No, I am.
Right. Okay. Sounds
yeah.
Because your mic does that thing sometimes. But anyway.
Yeah.
I basically just give way less of a shit, and it makes me. It's a lot more free. Like, it really is a lot more free. It's so much less worrying about how I come across because like I'm more in the community of YouTubers who are similar, so I don't have to worry about coming across as just like a normal geezer.
Yeah. I think for me now, like the school that I've moved to, so my school that I went to before for year 7 to 11, I started YouTube when I was in maybe like year 8. My thing with that was that like, I first started YouTube, they all saw my very first video. I wanted to keep it a secret, but they all found it like straight away because they all just straight away found it because I didn't keep it that secret. I was just like, okay, I don't really care about them knowing about it.
Yeah, that's what I was like,
Yeah, so they all saw it, but I think they had more of an opportunity to take the piss out of me because they all saw me when I was on 2 subs. So it's like, I couldn't back up what I was saying about the fact that I was going to do well with YouTube. Whereas,
yeah. Like, I don't know, my school friends were quite supportive, you know. Obviously, I had like a couple that were like, it's dead end, why are you doing this, you're never going to make it, all that shit. Like, you get it. It's very typical, but you get it. But nah, like the whole winning that award for most likely to be on TV, that was literally just from people seeing my YouTube and being like, yeah, fair enough, kid's gonna do something. Like,
I'd say people were more supportive of it in maybe like year 11. Like by year 11, I feel
it was definitely worse when I was younger. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like by the time I was in year 11, I feel like people have matured to the point where it was kind of like, okay, I see what you're doing. I get. Also by then, I had a couple more subs. So people were able to sort of see that it's a decent thing to do at that point. Because if anyone ever knocked it, I'd just be like, well, I make money for it. Even though I hardly make anything, anything. But I still make something, so they're just like, how much do you earn? I'm like, I'm not telling you, but I do make money for it. And then they respect it. So, because they probably think I'm making like actual good money out of it. Yeah, they probably think I'm like minted behind the scenes.
Yeah. But in reality, you're still asking your mum for a tenner every time you go
Exactly,
out. But, Nah, see, I left year 11 on like less than 500 subs.
Oh shit! Oh, because of course, like you, like suddenly blew up after the point that you left. I was going to talk about that as well. But yeah, so I want to take you back to when it all happened. Was it June?
July 2019.
July 2019. So not even a year ago.
No.
But right, July 2019. I want to take you back to this.
I'm ready.
You get a notification. You hear someone say you're in Memulous's new video. You go check. You see Memulous taking the piss out of you in your new video. Your notifications blow up. What are you thinking at that moment?
I have the story.
Okay, come on then.
Very. So I could. Do you want me to talk about how I got onto Memulous, or just from when I knew? Or do you want to know why I dropped the diss track? Like, where do you want me to go from, and I'll go from there.
I guess maybe start from why you dropped the diss track. So I reckon some people listening to this like might not really know that much.
Yeah. So. My maths teacher has a YouTube channel. He had about 100 subs, and I had about 300-400, maybe 500. And basically, he was like not growing that much at all. I'd started a job. I was working in like an office, and I was just checking. I searched up Mr. Mahmood, and he'd literally jumped from like 200 to 500 subs in a day. And I was looking at his videos, and all of his revision videos were getting like thousands of views each time, and I was like, holy shit, my maths teacher's about to overtake me in subs, this is not good. So I was like, I'm not stupid. I see the rate that this guy's growing, and because it's GCSE season, he's going to keep growing. I knew before I started the sub war that I was going to lose.
I was going to say there's a market for those videos like during GCSE season, because especially once people are off on study leave, everyone's just watching videos online. Like I considered starting it at one point. I was like, imagine if I just started like a revision channel, because it would help me with my it would help me with my GCSEs as well at the time I was doing them. So I thought about it, but I just thought like, nah, I don't really want to embarrass myself like that. But anyway, keep going with the story.
So I basically was like, this is just YouTube. This is gonna. I was thinking about me and Mr. Mahmood. I knew Mr. Mahmood was gonna keep growing without me, but I was like, I'm gonna turn this into a subreddit. Can you imagine how class it would be? YouTuber versus math teacher. This is fucking genius. So I tweeted Mr. Mahmood because I was quite close with Mr. Mahmood. Like he was chill. He was on socials. He'd reply to tweets and whatever. So I tweeted him the sub count. He was like one ahead of me, and I was like, I can't believe this. And it was actually him that said race to 1,000. So I was like, okay. And then I basically said to him, I didn't expect him to hit it so quickly. But I basically asked him, can I drop a diss track on you if you start like winning significantly? And he was like, yeah, I look forward to hearing it, mate. And I was like, gas. So
that's sick, yeah.
So I was like, I basically made a video saying I'm at war with my maths teacher or something, because I knew that would be a funny video. Basically explained what was going down, and I said if Mr. Mahmood keeps growing, I might have to hop into the booth. 2 days later, he was on 1,000 subs and I'd lost. So
yeah, I know the feeling. I've been there.
Yeah. So I made another video called Congrats, which is basically me sat on my bed surrounded by balloons with some party poppers going, whoa, congratulations, Mr. Mahmood. And then I basically lean to the camera and go, this isn't over, I'm dropping a diss track. So I did. And I was pretty big on football Twitter at the time. So I was like, easy traction. Football Twitter loved taking the piss out of anything more than anyone. So I started previewing like me outside Tesco with my hood up, pointing at the camera with a Vivo logo in the corner, and was like, be ready FT or whatever. Started getting rinsed, started getting called a nonce and whatever. And then I was like, the reason I teased it was because like I knew that when they actually heard it, they'd be like, fair fucks. Like looking back on it now, it's definitely not the best diss track, but I knew it was better than people were expecting anyway. So I dropped it.
Oh, sorry, keep going.
No, I want to hear what you were about to say.
I was going to say, the first time I heard it was obviously in Memulus's video, because at that time I had no clue who you were.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing the clips of it in Memulus's video, just thinking, if I'm completely honest, I was just thinking like, what a fucking loser dropping a diss track on his maths teacher.
Yeah,
that was my first thought. But then I went onto the channel, I watched the full video, I was like, this guy can actually rap, but he's dissing his maths teacher. Like,
okay, so like, my theory behind it was that majority of people on the internet aren't stupid. I knew everyone would look at the video and be like, what a weirdo, but also they'd come to my channel because that's hilarious. Like, it's a diss track on a maths teacher, of course I'm going over. And then I knew people would watch I had to get a response video out as quickly as possible, but I knew people would come onto my channel and be like, you know what, fair enough. But basically, it blew up on FT. It gained like 6k views off FT, and then Memulus was tweeting asking for last month's happened topics. I got everyone on FT to spam his comments, and then I was just sitting at home. I think I was playing FIFA or something. I look in my Twitter mentions, and a guy from my old school said, "You've made it," and it was literally a screenshot of me in the Memulus video, and the feeling. It sounds so like cheesy, but that feeling is unparalleled. Like
literally.
I was like, I've fucking done it, boys. I was just stunned. I like hobbled into my mum's room, was like, Mum, I did it. And then I got my brother. I had mine and Mr. Mahmood's sub count up, and his was just flying. Mine was going up too, but his was flying. I hit 1k subs shortly after. Within 2 days, I hit 4k subs.
Mate, you must have been absolutely buzzing, because I know the feeling of getting put in Memulus's video. Like, it happened to me quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
And I know how much of just an absolutely amazing feeling it is. Like, I genuinely put it up there as one of the best moments of my life. Which a lot of people would see that as just stupid, but for me, it was genuinely when you put so much effort into something and you're on the edge of your seat for like 2 weeks waiting to see it. Like I literally at the point that I dropped the video and at the point that I knew that Memulus had seen my video because he did a live stream where he like reacted to all those like Team 100 applications. Shit. I knew that he'd watched mine. And so I knew that he was making a video on them. Yeah. It took him like 2 weeks to go from reacting to all of them on live stream to putting out the video, I literally was not fully relaxed for 2 weeks because I was waiting to see if I was in it, and then I actually finally was, and it was just the biggest like release, and oh my, I literally,
the best.
I remember running into my mum's room at the same.
I ran into my mum's room.
Yeah. It was amazing. But you see, I was a fair bit younger than you were. Like you were what? You just turned 17 at the time.
Yeah, just turned 17. Yeah.
I was like what? I think I was 14.
Yeah.
I think I was 14 when it
that's
happened.
even worse for you. When I was 14, I used to get a boner if I got a good pack on FIFA. Like.
I think that like appearing in a big YouTuber's video is unmatched, just because it's like you know how many people are going to see that, and it takes a moment to like. It takes a moment for that to like fully hit you, and then all the notifications start flooding in, and it's just like you are thriving at that point, because like this is what you've been working towards for so long, and suddenly everyone's just seeing your shit, and it's it's amazing.
I had two kind of like bursts of it, because it went mad on FT to the point where my name was literally trending on Twitter. Like my Saucy Sani was trending on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, that's how big FT are, bro. And it literally went everywhere on FT. But I was like on holiday, I was staying at a family's house and my phone died when I dropped it. And I came home and I'd gained like 200 subs, which for me was crazy at the time. And my Twitter, I couldn't catch up with the amount of notifications. Daniel Banks had dropped his video on me. I think Calvin had as well. That's how I met them.
Oh, wait, is that how you met them?
Yeah, I met them because they dropped a video on the diss track before Memulus did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's mad.
Because I met them and they both like gave good reactions to it, and I was like, you two are sound.
I knew that you met them like through that, but I thought it was more just like they watched your videos and then you just sort of became mates with them. I didn't realise it was that they like made videos on you.
Yeah, they made videos.
Oh, mad.
The videos are dope. They're both still up. I'll send you them in a bit. But so yeah, first I had the FT bang, and then a week later it was on Memulus, and then everyone on football Twitter was tweeting me like, "You're in Memulus video, you're in Memulus video," and I was like, "Fam, I can't deal with this." But like the thing is, one thing I want to say, because like. I do want to say is like some people are like, oh, it's just clout. Why are you so clout hungry? Why does that mean so much to you? But it's like, when you're a creator, you want people to see your shit. Like, it's not, when you see YouTubers whining that their views are down, it's because as much as, yes, we make videos for ourselves and because we enjoy doing it, but also we want an audience. We make it because we want as many people as possible to see it. So when you get put onto a channel that has 3 million subs, it's like a not a eureka moment, but it's like, holy shit, people are gonna see what I'm up to, and that's what you want. It's not because you're a clout hungry, attention seeking individual.
Honestly, that is the exact thing that I've tried to say for so fucking long, but like no one's like everyone at my school, like what I said about like people who sort of like don't really understand my YouTube channel at my school. A lot of them will come at me with things like, "Oh, you're just doing that for views, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yes. That is the entire point of YouTube. That's why it's a platform, because you want people to see your shit." Yeah. Like, yeah.
It's the dream, because it's right. Okay, but then it's like also, the more views you get, the more likely you are to be able to do it as a career, and that's the end goal. And it's all about the end goal. It's like you want a platform because you want people to see it, because you want to make money from it, because you want to do more of it. It's like it comes out of wanting views comes out of a place of wanting to make more content.
Yes, 100%. Like
it's not because you want attention.
No, all of the kind of reasons why I do YouTube, they're all closely linked. Like for me, it's I'd say there's 3 main reasons why I do YouTube. It's 1, because I enjoy making videos.
Yeah.
2, because other people enjoy watching my videos. Well, I hope so, at least, like some people, hopefully. But like then the third one is I want to boost myself to the point where I'm doing this as a job.
Yeah.
And it's those 3 things, but all 3 of them kind of just lead towards the same goal and result in the same work ethic. All 3 of those motivations result in exactly the same thing. So it's, I don't know,
I feel like some people think there's something wrong with saying that you want followers. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people have like a stigma. It's like, oh, you're just attention seeking, that shit. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with going, I want to live the influencer life. I want to have fans. I want to have followers. But like, that sounds so egotistical, but it's really not. It's just like, that's the lifestyle that appeals to me, because I want to spend all day making content with my friends for people to watch and people to enjoy.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
I think that there's two kind of motivations for people wanting followers. One of them is so that they can like share their influence and they can like make as many videos as they can, and they want to just like build their community. That's the sort of more like honest reason for wanting followers. There's other people that sort of just want followers because of the number on the screen.
Yeah, that's
yeah, and I don't rate that as much, but they can very easily be sort of like mistook for one another.
Yeah, they always are, bro. They always are.
100%.
It goes back to what you said before when people say you're doing this for views, and they're like, well, yeah.
Yeah, that is the entire point of YouTube, and like it's just mad. I wanted to kind of add on talking about the Mr. Mahmood diss track, because obviously you do rap. You've made like a fair few songs on YouTube. Do you think that starting making music and kind of going into music from YouTube kind of gives you a bit of a disadvantage because a lot of people don't really like take you as seriously since you're a YouTuber?
I don't want to be taken seriously.
Fair,
it's
okay.
controversial, but I don't make music with the intention of becoming a full-time rapper. The reason I like being in the situation I'm in is because everyone's like, ha, skinny, tall, white YouTuber. Oh my god, he's got bars. Whereas if I'm just like, hey, listen to my SoundCloud, and they listen, and the thing is, if you start as a rapper and you start like promoting your SoundCloud and you start going, listen to my music, and then people listen to it, if it's not on like top tier music standard, you get pushed aside. But if you're a YouTuber and people like you, and then they hear you drop a song and they're like, holy shit, this actually kind of goes hard, they're gonna listen to it. You know what I mean?
That's sort of what I mean.
Better to not be taken seriously and people to have low expectations of you, because then if it's good, that's where you get the attention from. Because I don't know if this is me being delusional or what, but mentality for me is pretty average. It's good.
Average.
But I don't think it's like on the level of like some good rappers. I don't think, like, I'm not gonna be in anyone's fucking top 100 rappers in the UK. You know what I mean? Like,
I get what you mean. I think it's very good, but maybe that's just because I know you. And at the point that I did know you, Mentality was the first song you dropped. So for me, you talking about this tall, skinny white kid, oh my god, he's got bars. That was the moment for me. Yeah. When you dropped Mentality, I was like, oh, okay, he can sort of rap.
That was why I dropped Mentality. Mentality was, I mean, it's called Mentality because I wanted to kind of talk about where my head was at the time. Like, there's a lot of bars. Like, it sounds like such a happy, bumpy song, but if you actually listen to some of the bars, there's a lot of deep shit in there.
I get you.
But I was just like, yeah, because the whole hype from the diss track thing, and then everyone was like, you should start making actual songs, and I was like, I'll do one, I'll see if people like it, and see whatever. I'm not expecting my EP to do well at all. Like,
fair.
I'm just doing it because I want to, and I enjoy making music, but I don't see a career in it. If I can eventually, it'll be more like KSI route, where he starts as making like Hesky Time and all these
and then slowly
songs,
starts making more serious music,
more serious stuff, and then eventually he's got like mad features, and people start taking it like more seriously. But yeah,
but also like KSI has been boosted from the YouTube side of it, I feel, and I feel like if you go down more that route, that's better in a way, because it's sort of like. The plan. Because I guess no one ever really had any expectations of KSI making music either, because he started making Hesky Time. So why would you listen to someone who made Hesky Time and think that one day he'd get a feature of Rick Ross?
Rick Ross, exactly.
Like, you wouldn't. You'd never think it. Yeah. But then when he does it, everyone's like, whoa, that's mad. Whereas if like a normal rapper who just comes up purely through rap, moves up and then eventually gets a feature with Rick Ross. Yeah, no one's talking about it because it's like, proud of you, but like, this is your industry. Whereas JJ's kind of like breaking down the barriers and going into different industries, so that's why it seems like it.
That's what I want to do too. That's why you see me on TikTok, that's why you see me doing, like, my videos are so varied, and I make music, and I do, like, I want to do everything, and I don't know if that's because what I tell myself, I don't know how true it is, but what I tell myself is like, I want to be good at everything because I know I want to be like involved in the YouTube scene. But if just making videos doesn't work, it's like kind of like my backup plan. You know when people go, if YouTube flops, what you're gonna do? Like my thing
just
is
something
like,
else on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I want to be good at everything. I want to be involved in it as much as I can, so that I can take many different routes. I also think like, I try my best to appeal to as many different audiences as possible. So like my TikTok audience is probably like 11 or 12 year olds, right? And then you get to my YouTube, people are probably like 16, 17 and a bit younger, sometimes older. And then music is like for everyone. I don't know if that's because I don't want haters, but there's like FT. Some people on FT will call me Anik because I'm a YouTuber, but then other people on FT will be like, fair enough, this guy's class. And it's like, it's hard to do that as a YouTuber on FT because most of them just get instantly shut down.
It's very hard to appeal to everybody because like you are only a human, so there's only so much you can do. But the thing about you is that you can sort of like turn your hand at a lot of different things. I was gonna ask you a little bit about TikTok because obviously that's something that you've moved into.
Yeah.
About a year ago, the idea of doing TikTok seriously would have been laughed at because
I would have laughed at it, mate. I would have laughed at it.
Because back then it's still
sarcastically.
Back then it still sort of had like the same kind of like vibe as Musically, if that makes sense. I feel like now that TikTok's kind of moved away from that Musically vibe, and now that people sort of see it as its own platform that isn't as frowned upon to do, I sort of feel like that's what you've picked up, and you've picked up the side of TikTok that has moved it away from that because it is just people having a laugh and taking the piss.
I don't know if you specifically have watched my recent TikToks, but like especially like I don't know, like there's like a series that I've got 2 episodes on TikTok where I'm like doing this, like trying to become TikTok famous. You can tell the effort that goes into him. It's not just me lip syncing to something in my bedroom. Like I write a script, do a voiceover, put music, edit it like properly, and then post it on TikTok, and it's like a 60-second video. For you, like this is what I've said this to I won't name them, but a different YouTuber came to me talking about lack of motivation, and I found TikTok is really good for it because you're not focusing on a big project. You get like a 60-second skit, and if you actually film that with your proper camera, properly edit it on your computer and bang it up to TikTok, you spend like 2 hours at most making a mini sketch, and it just helps like re-inspire you. Also, TikTok's interactions are amazing, so if your channel views are low, you can make up for that on TikTok because it's just like a lot easier to get the recognition on
because your TikTok audience is much bigger than your YouTube audience. And credit to you because I tried TikTok for a bit and it absolutely flopped. So I don't know.
That's what my recent video is about.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this have seen it as well. But I wanted to ask you: do you feel like obviously your TikTok audience is much bigger than it is on YouTube? But do you feel like your TikTok audience know you as well as your YouTube audience?
Nowhere near.
I was expecting that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though my TikTok is like what seems to be the thing online is whatever's got you most followers, that's what you are. But I don't consider myself a TikToker. Like when people tag me in that like Summer in the City like TikTok panel, I'm not a TikToker.
I think they're doing that as a joke because I got tagged in that same thing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still a YouTuber. I that's the thing. Like KSI is doing his thing about rebranding the term YouTuber. He's like, I'm going to show you guys that YouTubers can be anything. I'm kind of with that. Like at core, I'm still a YouTuber. Whether I make songs, whether I make TikToks, whatever, I'm a YouTuber.
Yes.
That's what I'll tell people. You know what I mean? When people come to me and go, oh, what do you do? I'm not going to go, well, you know, I'm a TikToker, I rap sometimes. Like, I'll say I'm a YouTuber.
I think that's sort of why people started using the word influencer, but that's also got a very like negative vibe around it. But
it really does.
I sort of want to ask, like, why do you think the word influencer has such a negative vibe around it? Because if someone calls themselves an influencer, I will cringe because it's not a very nice word.
Okay, I'll tell you. It's all because of the literal word influence. It's like people saying, oh, I've got a few followers on Instagram. It's more from those Instagram food, like people who basically get paid to take a photo with something, put a hashtag ad and get thousands and thousands of pounds because they've got millions of followers. It's like people will look at that and go, what are you influencing? You're not changing the world. When you say you're an influencer, it kind of has that vibe of like, I'm changing lives. But in reality, people just look at it and go, listen, lass, you're posting with a protein shake. Like, that's...
I genuinely think that there's some people who should fairly be able to call themselves influencers. They just can't because of all of these people who aren't really doing anything yet see themselves as an influencer. Mr. Beast has he's made waves on YouTube in the past couple of years. Like I see him as sort of the modern day KSI in the way that he has like changed YouTube so much as a platform, and he's just been number one, and he's just had this mindset of I am number one, and any other competition I'm better than them, and it's paid off.
So I have that mindset kind of embedded to me, but I'm also very grounded and know that I'm not that good at anything. But I heard you talk on Calvin's podcast, and you touched on it when you were like, you're saying that I've got this thing where if I get challenged to something, I am So like I've got a very competitive side to me, and I'm happy to compete, and I'm like I love improving myself. Like that's kind of what motivates me, is just noticing improvements in anything. Like I get gassed when I'm editing and I watch a video back and I'm like, I've never done that before, or I'm like,
honestly,
that's a new thing in my videos. That gives me such a buzz, and I'm like, I can't wait for people to see this.
I feel like what makes a good YouTuber is someone who like doesn't necessarily like stay with one sort of like format of video. Like I will always be trying to edit my videos differently, and I don't know how noticeable it is to someone who doesn't edit videos themselves, but every time I edit videos I'll add one extra thing in and I'll be like, that is sick, I've never done that before. I'll try to add it into my next video, and I always just the improvement and the way that it's like I know that I'm getting better and I'm slowly progressing towards being a bigger YouTuber than ever and a better YouTuber than ever. That is the thing that keeps me going, because I could never just keep making the same video over and over in the way that some of those gaming videos do.
I used to be a FIFA YouTuber and it drove me crazy, bro. I literally used to upload daily. I'd come home, make a squad builder, and edit it and upload it, and it was sustainable. I was enjoying it, but I was like, I'm not improving. I want to improve, and that's why I moved away from FIFA. I'd still be a gaming YouTuber now if I didn't have like this internal belief that I have to constantly improve.
And I think this is the thing. We're sort of in this new age of YouTube now, where it's less about the channel as a whole and more about the individual videos that are getting pushed onto the recommended page, because the YouTube algorithm doesn't really promote like channels as a whole anymore. Like you won't get like someone who makes loads of videos but they're all kind of similar. You won't get them in the recommended. You need to get someone who makes varied videos, and one video bangs and gets in everyone's recommended. That's what the algorithm focuses on.
Yeah, what you need to do though, and I try to do this, is to become a personality, like in the sense that, say like Will N.E., right?
Yeah.
His videos are good, but people like him, and that's why he gets away with his second channel, where he just does the same thing every time and he still gets 400,000 views a video. Like if he wasn't a likable person, or if people didn't like him for him, no one would watch that, because they're just waiting for the good content. So I try in my videos to at least put my personality out there, but I find that hard sometimes, which is why I really want to start a podcast.
Why do you think I'm doing this?
Yeah,
this is literally the exact reason.
I want to push my personality, and I want my fans, I hate the word fans, because I'm still so new to having however many subs that I don't feel like I have fans.
I usually say viewers rather than fans. I think viewers is a more acceptable word than fans, because fans seems quite egotistical, I think.
Yeah, it does, it definitely does. I want my viewers to know me as a person, so that because then you just get more supported whatever you go into. And I feel like it's very beneficial. Like, as much as I want my videos to be the best, I also want people to know who I am and know me, so that that it's more supportive, and I don't know. You seem less forgettable when people like you. You know what I mean? It's like if you make 100%. Amazing content but you're just bland, then people will be like, well, the videos are good, but if you stopped uploading, would I really give a shit? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I think what it is that you have to be able to see personality beyond the videos. You have to be able to watch someone's videos and sort of be able to imagine what they're like all the time.
Exactly.
Because if you just watch the videos, it's like, well, they could literally be doing, and they could literally act in a way that is nothing to do with their videos, like off camera. But if you can watch each person's videos, and sort of like in your head kind of build a narrative of what that person is like outside of their videos, that's what you need, because that's how you become attached to like someone online without actually knowing them.
That is exactly why I want a YouTuber house, and to live and film with different, like, collabs are amazing for that, because the best way to find out about someone is to see how they interact with other people, because that's like
100%.
who they are. If you're on your own in your bedroom, as I am most of the time, it's hard to get your personality across, because there's no one to bounce off, there's no one to, you're literally talking to a camera, talking about the structure of the video. It's hard to entertain without someone else, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I personally am not very good at that. I'm not very funny on my own. I'm better at bouncing off people.
I'm 100%. Like, I'm 100% the same. Like, you've seen me on live streams, right? I can sort of maintain a live stream, but a lot of the time I feel like I'm very awkward when I'm just sort of like sat in a room by myself. But then the moment I leave the room and I go see my family or I go see my friends or whatever, I'm just completely different. Or whenever I like leave a live stream and drop a message to some of the people watching it, I'm suddenly able to like talk so much more confidently because I'm bouncing off them. It's weird. Like, I can't really maintain a sort of kind of narrative on my own without planning it out to shit, and that's why a lot of my videos are scripted all the way through.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm like, sometimes I even get defeated before that, because I come to write in a script and I'm like, how am I going to put myself across? Because I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm like planning a video and I feel like a robot. I feel like I'm just talking about what's going to happen in the video, and then it happens in the video, and then I end the video, and I'm like, I need to put me across more, like, because if I'm just there like, hey guys, we're going to be making a song in an hour, make a song in an hour, here's the song. there's not much else to that. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know, I think you're quite good at it. You're good at like making jokes in your videos and like actually having some humour involved in your script.
I feel like that's sort of the thing that I try to do the most, because what you just said is exactly what I've thought all the time. Like, a lot of the time I'll write a script of a video and I'm like, if this was someone else making the video, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch just someone going, hey guys, I went on Omegle last night, here's a clip of me on Omegle.
Yeah.
Then I found this person and they said this, here's a clip of them saying this. Like, I always try to sort of like build in a joke, and I've been watching quite a lot of stand-up recently, and I've been watching like Ricky Gervais and people.
Yeah.
He talks about like how, like the way around a joke, and he talks about the way to really sort of engage an audience is to make a joke near the start of the video and then reference back to the joke at the end of the video, because then the audience feel like they're in on an inside joke.
Yeah. It's that's, I don't know, this is why I have such like a burning desire to be surrounded by more YouTubers. I know I said it before, but like, again, it's just like the content I can make, I want it to feel more relatable. Like, I feel like I'd be, if we have all lived in a house together, then I'd start like doing more like vlog stuff, more stuff like Jack does, or more stuff like fucking maybe borderline David Dobrik stuff. But
I get what you mean.
It's more personality based stuff than. But obviously, still there'd be like content within it. But I just feel like doing it with other people gives the video more of a.
Doing it with other people, because that is what bangs, because people love to buy into a group of people. Like,
exactly.
why do you think that Simon for one, but why do you think all the Twitter stans who love like Will and Memulus and James, like they all love kind of the dynamic between them? Yeah. They all love seeing the way that they bounce off each other, and that is exactly what we need.
How often do you see someone who's like, oh, I like Will but not Memulus?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't.
Like, because people sort of just put them in the same bracket on YouTube, and in their head they're like the same entity, because it's the group that they formed is why everyone buys into them so much.
Yeah. It's hard to be solo on YouTube anymore.
And that's why Mr. Beast is so one of a kind, because he smashes the whole like solo thing. Like, granted, he does have his mates in his videos. He's still got his mates, but like they don't have channels, do they? I might be wrong.
No,
but like,
so like that Chandler guy is pretty big on TikTok. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all just like Mr. Beast friends in videos. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like he
it's
absolutely
also like TGF with like Luke and that new guy they've got, and fucking
and like what's his name, Phelan. Yeah.
No, I know Phelan. They've got like a new guy with they shaved his head in the most recent.
I haven't actually watched TGF in a while, to be fair.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah. No, that actually leads me very nicely on to the last question I wanted to ask you, which is, do you think that moving to London makes a huge difference on YouTube, or do you think it's kind of overhyped?
I think it makes a difference.
I think it does a difference as well.
Would say that I almost feel like it's inevitable that I'm going to end up moving at least further down south, because it's like, it's where everyone is. Where the people are is where the content is. It's like, people like, I don't know, Jack Mate is quite good, because he's pretty much stayed up north. Well, no, he lives in Norwich. Never mind. Yeah. So he's, I don't know, but he doesn't live too near everyone. He doesn't go out and see people, but he's just like, he's hilarious on his own. I feel like the people that are funny on their own,
they can be fine, and I feel like you would be fine on your own. So like, just for the viewers that don't know, you live in Manchester, so it isn't too far, but at the same time, it's like, I understand what you mean about like living with people. Well, it goes back to the point that we just made. I think you've got to be near the YouTubers so that you can meet up and do fun shit, especially for the content I want to create. What I was going to say about Jack Mate is like, people that are good solo are borderline stand-up comedians. Like Jack Mate's talked about how he wants to go into comedy on his own. Like, you have to be a funny fucker on your own to do YouTube on your own. Otherwise, there's not much you can do. Like, I definitely feel more like I'm more about making the videos than I am about just being funny on my own. I feel like I said, I'm better bouncing off people. So for me, you've got to be around the people to make the content, be funny, do dumb shit, and get the videos out there. Which is why I feel like you do need to go to London, because that's where everyone is. It's like, if everyone was in Manchester, you'd have to go to Manchester. But because everyone's in London, that's just where it is. Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, like, Manchester has its moments. Like, it's not as if it's like some tiny little like town.
No,
like, Like Jack Hodgson, I don't know where he lives, but from what it looks like, he lives like out in the countryside. So he smashes it, but I guess he just comes down to London quite a lot, and he's willing to travel.
He's got his mate. I don't know if my mates are gonna watch this video, but like my mates aren't the type of people that would just be like, oh, what are we filming today? What are we filming today? Like they just wouldn't get in everyday videos, and they just wouldn't. I don't know. Like Jack has a friendship group that are very clearly comfortable on camera and are willing to do fun shit to entertain the video, and they clearly understand how it works.
And this is why a lot of the time I compare Jack Hodgson to David Dobrik in the way that he like his videos are good. Like don't get me wrong, Jack's videos are very good,
Insane,
but it's this amazing sort of friendship group that makes the videos just seem so real that really makes Jack's channel, in my opinion.
That's the point I was trying to make before about like how you come across as a personality. It's like I feel like Jack's viewers would feel like they know Jack because like when you're in a group like that where everyone understands what's going on, everyone understands how YouTube works, and everyone understands entertainment, that's how you get your personality across because everyone knows how it works.
And like maybe I'm biased because like I met Jack before I'd really watched his videos, because the first time I met him was VidCon 2019. Then after that I went away, watched his videos, sort of found out who he was. Maybe I'm just biased because I knew him before his videos, but I feel like if I'd watched his videos first, then met him, he would have been. He's exactly the same. Like when you meet him in person, it's not a matter of thinking like, "Whoa, you're different in person." He comes across exactly the same, and that is what makes his videos so authentic.
Yeah, that's what I try and do. I try and be like myself as much as possible in videos. I try and stay the same on camera as and off camera because like I said, I want that relationship with my viewers where they can feel if they approach me, I'm not going to be a different person.
I try to be myself as much as I can, but it is quite difficult to be yourself when you're just in a room on your own talking to a camera, because that's not a normal situation. Like not everyone does that. You have to choose to, so it doesn't really reflect your normal self.
Exactly.
Especially if things are scripted.
Yeah, you have like especially exactly. When it's scripted, you have like a natural built-in robot voice. Like I've spoke about this so much. Like I have a YouTube voice that I'll just like sometimes.
You do. Like, you 100% have a YouTube. That's something I have noticed about you. Like,
I don't know why I can't use my normal voice when I'm talking, but I
can't either. But maybe it's just a matter of I always speak up when I'm filming videos. I wouldn't say I yell, but I like borderline shout in my videos because I just, for me it's like if I speak at my normal volume it's so boring. I always have to try to keep my voice up.
My voice is really dull, so I try and put on like a bit of a
well, you put on a bit of a Weller voice sometimes. I feel like you put on a bit of a Weller voice.
But to be fair, I do that in real life. If I'm taking the piss out of something in real life, I go straight into Joe Weller mode, like it's annoying.
Well, so Zach's full of retort and all that.
No, I was for a bit, you know. I was that kid for a bit, but it's just like.
You were the kid that would run around with like the legitimate t-shirt, being like, "No, sounds extra legitimate."
I never had a legitimate t-shirt because I mean I just couldn't afford one. I would have got one at the time, but I never had the merch, but I would have. I was the kid. I was the Joe Weller basher.
Anyway, I feel like that's probably enough. Thank you very much for coming on. Do appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. Listen,
we've had a good debate. If anyone watching this video has a YouTuber that they want to see me get on, comment them down below. I'm willing to get on as many different people as I can. KSI, yeah. KSI, maybe Joe Weller. Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast. KSI and Logan Paul heated debate on the Isocast.
That's exactly it.
Oh, mate, yeah. Alright, anyway, pleasure having you on. Thank you very much, mate.
Yes, no worries.
Alright,
anytime.
Thank you, man.